One, noticing when conditioned response is being activated. So I'm actually not able to choose what I want to do because like I just through belief and through conditioning, I'm just reacting. And then questioning those limiting beliefs become a huge part of the next phase of really shifting the transformation into a more aware, awakened state.
And you said, and I think you said Byron Katie was a big influence to you. Isn't she not the one that, is this actually true?
Yes.
Is this really
Yes.
true?
Yes.
Right. And
so Katie's like, you know, like you want to get good at all these different things. One, feeling the body, but then when it comes to questioning limiting thoughts, and you'll know they're limiting because they cause you tremendous amounts of stress, right? And so the classic one is, well, you can't make a living doing that, would be like
Right.
a classic one.
what came up for me when you were describing this is that following our inspiration isn't safe.
And exactly, like, and people won't accept this, people won't accept me, there's like all sorts of rules. And so that's where you want to find the thought that is limiting, write it down, and then I found Byron Katie's system of meditation to be very powerful, because if you try and push a thought away, so if I said to you, well, just stop thinking that, it's almost like the egoic mind likes that. And so her system, instead of trying to push fearful, stressful, limiting beliefs away, you hold them in awareness, and you get to know yourself. And so the first question is it true? And now you're meditating. Is it true? No. If you get a no, then you move on to, and now you're watching, who am I? What happens when I believe the thought? Okay, so now I'm just getting to know myself. What was your thought? I'll do it myself. Following your inspiration isn't safe.
Following inspiration is not safe.
Okay, so I've had that one. So now, who am I when I believe that thought? I feel guarded. I feel like I have to keep a secret. I feel irrational. I tell the story that no one's ever really fully succeeded at this. What comes up for me is I just notice myself being really guarded. I don't open myself to inspiration. I think that I have a better idea about how it should be. So this is all just happens out of this one thought, but it shapes all of these behavior patterns. I notice I don't leave my job. I want other people to stay safe by staying where they are. Because if they're following their inspiration, that starts to hit this bad place in me. So I become the sort of person who's always saying, you can't do that. You can't do that to other people. So now you're just watching, getting to know, and seeing what insight there is there as you learn how that thought. But instead of saying, stop being like that, you're just keeping it with you. And then the next part, who would you be without the thought? I would be more courageous. I would be more open. I would try things. I would follow my inspiration. I would be playful. I would allow myself to find out versus thinking I know. I would just be way more willing to lightheartedly find out. And then the final thing is you would turn it around. It is safe to follow your inspiration. Well, that's certainly been true for me in writing. It's been true for me in relationships. So now I just start to find how that just might be true. It's not safe to not follow your inspiration. So she's just opening the mind.
Yeah. Because we're almost looking for confirming evidence to keep us safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
Exactly. So she forces you to just explore in a single thought. So I hope that made sense. It's a bit all over, but it's just a way of sitting with.
It definitely does. And I know in my own journey, and there was actually someone that I was coaching recently that's talking about this. I think there's this idea in kind of the new age culture or whatever that like you think your thoughts into reality, like your thoughts become a reality. And so it's like if you have a scary thought, if you have a bad thought, you need to get rid of it
Yeah.
because you're gonna manifest
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna block your flow, or
It's like I've canceled. Like, oh, you thought it, now you're gonna
Yeah.
have it, and it's like this whole thing. And I'd be curious to hear your opinion about what they're actually talking about there. But I would share that my own experience is that welcoming and accepting as a first step is way more productive than trying to incessantly counter or block things out.
Absolutely. And I think that it's just a case of the more you sit in thoughts that cause you stress like that, the thought load of the mind will drop. So just like the density of thought drops, and what it drops to is being a lover of what is, a real state of acceptance. And there's some version within that of a trance of moving from a consciousness of by me to through me to as me. If you think like there's still a consciousness in my thoughts are creating my reality, and if I'm having bad thoughts, it's still very very by me. And that's not bad. Awareness that you are having limiting thoughts, awareness that you are having perhaps thoughts that bring you down, awareness that you have a self-critic, it's important. Sit with them so that you can create more of a space that there's just less I in what wants to flow through you. So, when I think about manifesting, I think it's just, at its highest levels, it's just total surrender to what I am, and there's just trust in whatever wants to come through. And I might shift and put intention on things, but I'm in more of a state of faith that what is for me is coming out of that vibrational state, versus like, oh, I had limiting thoughts, so I've messed up the vibration.
Right.
I must do my mental hygiene. I must question limiting thoughts. I must be aware of conditioned response. But then I let go into trust in life on some level. So it's a dance.